Could it be? But me, your me, Louie T, welcome to the college football series. 2017 college football season almost upon us, and I want to talk about a few topics that have really tickled my fancy and really piqued my interest. And this next one is something that I've adopted over the last couple of years because I watched so much film going into the draft and after the draft. So prior to the draft, post-draft, I watch a ton of college tape of players who were drafted, and in doing so, indirectly, you run into players that you say, wow, what draft class is this guy going to be in? Or what classification is this player here? Because this guy's ultra impressive. And it happens to me every year. I run into guys that are very, very talented that I see as the new crop of players that'll be coming down the pipeline eventually. And so in doing so, I figured, why not make a list? Why not compile a list of guys that you should be looking out for, that I will be looking out for? And before I even get into my list, I want to know, who are the top 5 players in college football in 2017 that you'll be looking for this upcoming season? Who are the guys you're going to be paying extra special attention to? Because whether you're a fan of that team or you're a fan of that player, or you just think that that guy is ultra talented and has a chance to be the next big thing at the NFL level, who's the guy that you're looking at? Who are the top 5 players? Maybe you only have 3, maybe you only have 1 or 2. I've got 5. Actually, I don't have 5. I have more like 7 or 8. But in any event, who's the top 5 guys that you have that you'll be looking out for in college football in 2017? Here's mine. Make sure you leave yours in the comments section. And if you haven't already done so, like the video, subscribe to the Louie T Network for more content. NFL, college football, it'll all be here in 2017. So, top 5 players to watch, and like I said, I've got more than 5, but in any event, we start at number 5, and I've got a two-way tie here. You know, I'm a receiver guy at heart. I love watching receivers play, and I couldn't help but watch a couple of guys that I think are going to explode in 2018 and potentially position themselves to be highly touted going into the 2019 NFL draft. I know I'm projecting a long way out, but coming in at number 5, Ahman Richards of the U at Miami, and N'Keal Harry, Arizona State wide receiver. So 2 receivers coming in at number 5. Here's why. At the U last year, at Miami, everyone was looking at Braxton Berrios. Everyone was looking at the other receiver, Stacy Coley, as the guys that Brad Kyle was going to rely on heavily to maybe get him into the draft as a top-tier quarterback. And it ended up being a freshman by the name of Ahman Richards that was their best wide receiver by far. And this guy was making play after play, and I couldn't help but be so impressed. I was watching Stacy Coley tape. I saw Ahman Richards. I was watching tape on various guys. I saw Ahman Richards. He kept jumping off the screen at me, and I'm going to watch him specifically in 2017 because I think this guy has immense talent and a chance to potentially be one of these guys that come next year. We'll be looking at him as one of the top receivers with a chance to potentially come out and be one of the first receivers off the board in 2019 in the draft. Same with N'Keal Harry. This is another freshman that I saw last year. Didn't put up huge numbers like Ahman Richards did at Miami, but I tell you what, N'Keal Harry was ultra impressive. If you want to see just how, because this is a big kid we're talking about here. We're talking about a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", about 210, 215 pounds. You want to go see, and he's a physical freak there just from that standpoint, but you want to see how athletic this guy is. Turn on the Utah tape from last year. There's a play in there. They give him the football. He's supposed to throw a pass. There's nothing available. He pulls the football down, tucks it and runs, makes about 5 guys miss, gets into the end zone. That's the kind of athlete N'Keal Harry is. He's got size, he's got ability to climb the ladder, he's got the ability to snatch the football out of the air, and he can make guys miss. I'm convinced that no one's talking about N'Keal Harry now, but soon you'll know his name. I don't trust him because he's got 2 first names. But I think the guy has a chance to be a big-time weapon if they can get a quarterback. Their quarterback situation sucks at Arizona State. That's the only thing that I think may hold N'Keal Harry back. But there's no denying the talent. I'm anxious to see what he does in 2017 along with Ahman Richards at the receiver position. Let's talk about guys that are more in our consciousness and have a chance to really impact the 2018 NFL draft. And my next player, or players in this case, on the list, come in at number 4. In the NFL, we're always looking for the next big thing at the pass rushing position, whether it's defensive end, outside linebacker. We're always yearning and needing more elite rushers. We saw a rusher go off the board number 1 in most years. If it's not a quarterback, it's going to be a pass rusher coming off the board at number 1, because that is the next most impactful position after quarterback. You either get to the quarterback or you need an elite quarterback to stand a chance in this league. And so we're always looking for the next big thing as a pass rusher. I've got 3 guys that I've got my eye on in 2017. Coming in at number 4, Arden Key out of LSU, a guy that's been on our radar for quite some time now, and I think he's got a chance to explode and come out into the 2018 NFL draft as one of the leading candidates to be off the board as the first pass rusher. Hot on his trail now, a one-year wonder last year out of Boston College, Harold Landry, another guy going to be on my list of players to take a look at. And I'm not done at number 4, Bradley Chubb of North Carolina State. NC State defensive end Bradley Chubb is a guy that I look at and I say, man, he's big, he's huge, he's explosive, he's got a chance to be dynamic. And it seems like those NC State pass rushers, they come in big, huge packages, a la Mario Williams. I'm looking at all 3 of those guys who all put up double-digit sack totals last year. Harold Landry out of Boston College led the nation with 16.5 sacks last year. Arden Key is a long, wiry, disruptive, explosive pass rusher in the SEC, getting double-digit sacks. You know that counts for something. And of course, Bradley Chubb, NC State pass rusher, a guy that I think is coming on, and he's big. Unlike Landry and Key, we're talking about a guy in Chubb that's 270 pounds, a little north of that, at 6'4", 6'5". This is a huge man that can be a base end in a 4-3 defense or potentially stand up. He's that athletic. I'm enamored with every one of these guys. They're different in what they do and what they bring to the table. I'm anxious to see if these guys can live up to the hype and the billing that they are going into the season with, to potentially put themselves on a pedestal above one another as NFL potential pass rushers in the 2018 NFL draft. You go to number 3 on my list, and it's a guy that is just absolutely dynamic. I think he's the most dynamic player in all of college football. He's a human highlight reel. Every time I watch him, I'm more and more impressed, and I didn't think it was possible. At number 3 comes in Penn State running back Saquon Barkley. From day number 1, I knew this kid was special when I watched him, and I've been watching him the last 2 years just in awe. You watch him in that bowl game last year versus USC, and the first play right out of the gate in the second half. I mean, come on. That kind of cutback ability, that kind of speed to run away, that kind of ability in general, this guy is so special. He can catch it, he can run, he can make guys miss, he's got the speed, he's strong. We've seen the weightlifting videos and of him power cleaning and him squatting weight. This guy is a freak. And he's going to be the first running back without question off the board if he decides to forego his senior season at Penn State, which I don't know why he wouldn't. If he has another campaign like the first 2, there's no way that this guy has any reason going back to school. He'll be the first back off the board, and he'll be a top 5 pick for sure. Saquon Barkley, every time he suits up, it's must-see TV for me, Louie T. You go to number 2, and this is a guy that I think potentially going to be the first overall pick in the 2017 NFL draft. Some of you know him, some of you don't. I've watched a ton of Wyoming tape over the last couple of years. I watched their running back that was drafted, ended up running into Josh Allen. I watched their center, Chase Roulier, drafted by the Redskins, ran into Josh Allen. I watched their receiver, their tight end, ran into Josh Allen. And he's so undeniable in terms of talent. And this guy has everything you're looking for. Of course, I'm talking about Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen, number 2 on my list of top 5 players to watch in college football in 2017. I think this guy, he's got the size, he's got the arm talent, he's got the mobility, he's got everything you're looking for. The only thing you question is the decision making at times. His arm is so strong that he is prone to making mistakes. But again, you can wean that in, you can roll, you can take all of the bad. There is so much good that outweighs that bad though, and this guy has the it factor. He's got it. Whatever it is, Josh Allen has it. And if he plays like he did last year at Wyoming, I have a feeling that this guy is going to be the #1 overall pick. Yes, I said it, the #1 overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft. He's that talented, folks. If you haven't seen him already, do yourself a favor. Turn on some Wyoming tape and watch Josh Allen. His arm is electric, and his ability to lead his team back when they're down or just to take his team down the field, even in some clutch situations, has me salivating and has me thinking he's going to be the #1 pick in the draft come next season. And then finally, the #1 player on my list. Before we get to that, let's recap what I've done, my top 5 players, or let's go top 8, top 9, because I got a bunch of guys tied at the top. But in any event, let's go down my list quickly and get to #1. Number 5, 2 receivers tied for number 5. Amon Richards, a sophomore at the University of Miami, and another sophomore wide receiver in N'Keal Harry at Arizona State. Both of these guys electric. Both of these guys are so dynamic. I think that you'll be hearing their names so often in 2018 that you'll be looking forward to them in the 2019 NFL draft. Number 4, NFL always looking for pass rushers. I've got 3 that you should be keeping your eye on in 2017. I know I will. LSU's Arden Key, Boston College Harold Landry, and finally NC State's Bradley Chubb are the 3 guys that I'm looking forward to in 2017. We go to number 3, the most talented running back in all of college football, and it's not even close. Saquon Barkley, Penn State, every time he plays, it's a show. And I always want to be front row and center to take a look at what he's doing. That guy is dynamic. He comes in at number 3. At number 2, a guy that I think has the potential to be the #1 overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft. Talking about Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen. The arm is electric. He's got mobility. He's got the size. He's got it all. All he's got to do is cut back on some of the mistakes. But again, some team is going to fall in love with all, and I mean all, of the measurables and the talents and the undeniable it that is Josh Allen. That's number 2 on my list. And finally, number 1 on my top 5 players to watch in college football in 2017. Florida State safety Derwin James. This is a guy that came out so highly touted. Everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing at the safety position. He's 6'3", north of 200 pounds. He looks the part. He's so athletic. He's this, he's that. And we only get him for a couple of games before he hurts himself and can't finish out the remainder of the season. So I'm anxious to see if this guy is as advertised. If he is the next big thing at the safety position, there are a ton of teams that could use a big-time, game-changing safety with that kind of size, that athleticism, ball playmaking ability, ball skills, you name it. He's supposed to have it. I'm not sure yet, but I know there's only one way to find out, and that's to watch Florida State and to see if he's healthy, 1, and 2, if he's the real deal. I can't lie. I want to see if Derwin James is what I've been told he's supposed to be. And because of that level of buildup and hype that I've been hearing around this man for 2 whole years, I am going to be glued to my seat when Florida State is playing, because I'm going to be looking for Derwin James to see if he is as good as everyone's been telling me over the last 2 seasons. So that's my top 5 college football players to watch in 2017. I know, don't kill me, don't shoot me. I know it was more than 5, but in any event, who are your top 5? Who do you got? Who are you looking forward to seeing in the upcoming college football season? Leave it in the comment section so we can chop it up. Can't wait to read your comments. Until next time, I'm your man Louie T, College Football Series, signing off. See you next time.